Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social. Delighted to be joined by Michael Conlan. Slick. We're here in Belfast. Drag me over. How's things?
I was waiting on it.
I weren't going to do it, because I thought a bit professional, but considering how cold it is and I've not slept at all, and it was all your fault, by the way.
You fucking jumped up out of bed to make sure you made it to Belfast. Fair play, mate. I respect it. I respect the grind.
You put a request in. I don't get many requests, so it's one of them. Huge fight week for you. This is the fight that, in a way, opens all the doors to all the big fights that everyone's talking about. And Karim Guerfi is, I think, 5-time European champion, has been on that fringe world level for a long time. Gave Jordan Gill a hell of a fight, was winning the fight until the last second. How important is this fight week to you?
It's very important. Every fight now is going to be very important. It's just another one along the way, and I've got to make sure I win. I've got to make sure I look good doing it. So, yeah, it's important. I've had, as every fighter says, I've had a good training camp, and
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. So.
What do you expect him to bring to you? Because in theory, we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, he does have nothing to lose. Like, for him, another loss on the record, he'll still operate at European level, where if he manages to beat you, he takes everything. He takes the win back from Mariaga, your progress on this, not comeback trail, but on your path to getting to a world title.
It definitely takes everything away from what I've done and leaves me kind of wondering where's next if I lose, but that's not going to happen. I think I'm expecting an aggressive Guerfi. Someone is going to come and try to win, not going to lie down, has nothing to lose, as we said. And I believe he'll be fully prepared. I know he's been away in training camp, and he's over in Dubai training and stuff, and now he's back in France and coming over. I think he's in today at some stage, so yeah, that should be good.
Is that better for you, a fighter who's coming to win? Someone who, because he's a come forward fighter, he will come looking for you. You won't have to go searching, running around the ring for him. Will that help you? Will that sort of play into your hands?
I think so. No, he commits, but he doesn't overly commit, and puts himself in positions where I'll be able to capitalise, and that's what I plan to do. But also, if he is the move, if he is the go on the defensive, I know I can cut him down and get to him eventually. So it doesn't really matter whether he does come forward or not, but I do believe he will.
Another fight in your division that's going on, same night, Josh Warrington, Alberto Lopez. I spoke to Isaac Lowe last week, and he says that Alberto Lopez hits like a mule. Considering Josh has just come off a victory over Kiko Martinez, but he had the broken jaw. Can you just give me a quick sort of overview on how you see that fight going?
Yeah, I think it's a very tough fight. I think if Josh... Pass me out again.
We're just picking that back up again. Sorry, we got interrupted by room service. Josh Warrington, Alberto Lopez. We mentioned Isaac Lowe said that Lopez hits like a mule. How do you see the fight?
I'm swaying back and forward. Some days I'm saying Warrington, some days I'm saying Lopez, but I think what Josh needs to do to win is fight exactly how he fought Frampton. Have that kind of set out routine of how he's going to box, attacking at certain times, moving at certain times, and changing it up, not just going for a war, because as he had said, Ezekiel had said that he can't punch, and I think any fighter stands in front of him, gives him so much opportunities. He doesn't have the best of feet, but he can spring in when he needs to. So it's one I don't really know. It's 50-50 in my opinion. One day I'll say Lopez, the next day I'll say Warrington.
In a way, better for you if Josh wins, keeps that door open if you want to fight down the line?
It doesn't really matter, because if that fight happens down the line, fantastic, but if Lopez wins, I could have that next possibility. So
unless there's there won't be a rematch clause because it's mandatory, isn't it?
Yeah, mandatory, and it's a top ranked fighter, so
It'd be ideal, really, then, wouldn't it? A Lopez win, that'd be a very easy fight to make. Then you would assume Belfast, New York, wherever. Coming back to I've interviewed you quite a lot over the last 6 months. I know you've thoroughly enjoyed it and whatever, but I want to ask you something different. Someone we've not touched on before, who sort of brought you to the dance, your dad, John. Talk to me about how influential he's been on your career and the work he's doing for the Northern Ireland squad at the minute.
the Ireland squad as well. But yeah, he's been massive influence on my career and my life. Someone who I've always looked up to and will continue to look up to. A great father, but as a coach, someone whose opinion I still value very much so. Like every time I spar, I send him the spars, and I get his opinion and what he thinks, and he'll critique it. He will give you your kudos when you need your kudos, but he's always kind of trying to direct me in the right direction. I think he's a fantastic boxing coach, and you can see what he's doing, you know, with the Irish team, the Irish elite squad, and the Northern Ireland team at the Commonwealth Games went and picked up a record amount of medals, gold medals this year. And then even in Ireland, you know, they've got like 3 world champions this year, albeit females. No males, unfortunately. I'm the only one.
Slip that one in there.
I have to hold on to it until someone joins me. I had to get that one in. But yeah, they've had some major success this year. Ireland have, you know, some record amount of medals there as well. European goals, world goals, you know, multi nations, all that. Their underage medals are flying as well. So he's had a big influence on that and a big part of that. So he deserves that credit.
How much has he sort of played a part in your career and, you know, bringing you to all this? Has he been like key figure at the start of your life, introducing you to boxing? Is he the catalyst for this Michael Conlan, Conlan revolution?
It's a funny one.
Let's say, how did it happen? How did you walk into boxing?
I followed my older brothers in. I wasn't allowed to go.
What?
So I was too young, and I went to the gym, and I followed Jamie and my two older brothers, Brendan and Jamie. Jamie's the oldest, Brendan's second. So it's named me after Brendan. Them two got brought to the gym because they were fighting and stuff, and they got to learn to protect themselves. So he brought them to the boxing gym, and I just went, and I wanted to be like them. And so crack. I just kept going with them, and he was like, "You're not meant to be going. You're meant to go home because you're not allowed to be here. You're too young." So I kept like trying to go, and then the coach, who was the main coach at the time in the gym, says, "Get him out. He can't be here. He's too young." I went and joined another gym. They seemed me have one fight underage, and then they made sure I had to come back to that club. But yeah, so like.
Imagine if you'd just listened and not gone then.
I know, but like he is a major part of my whole development as a boxer. You know, he was the kind of person who was free to let me switch stance when I wanted to switch stance.
Yeah.
There was no like, no, you need to do it this way. Like I was able to do whatever way I kind of wanted to do it. Obviously, albeit the correct way. He wasn't letting me do it wrong ways, but
give you that flexibility, like, give you the freedom.
Yeah. Where a lot of people would be like, no, follow my rules. This is the way to do it. He was like, no, let's find out what you can do. So, yeah, he's a massive part.
Do you know what? I'm looking at other things that I could ask you. So we do talk a bit, and we can go over fight, how you're going to win, knock him out, and all that stuff to blow in the face. And I come across a video which I think's worth you sort of going through again, because I was laughing. Your tattoo. Talk to me about this tattoo. I know, but talk to me about this tattoo that you got, the rosary beads, obviously. I know you're a religious man, but talk to me about it, and what was your dad's reaction, and what you were originally supposed to get. Okay. Come on, Slick.
Right, so, first off, I said I'm going to get a tattoo. I was turning like 17 or something, and my dad was like, yeah, no problem, what are you going to get? I was like, I want to get like rosaries around my neck, but I was told it's too sore, so I might just get the no fear eyes on my arm.
Why of all the things that?
I don't know. I like the no fear. I was like, I'm a boxer, no fear, and all. So I says I make it rosaries around my wrist even. So he was like, whatever. He thought like I won't have the balls to do it. So I went down to the tattoo place, and I goes in and says to the guy, listen, I want to get like the no fear on my arm, or else the rosaries around my arm. I says, but I really want to get them around my neck, but the toe is too sore. And the guy says, no, well, you're getting them in your neck then. That's where you're getting them. I'm like, okay, fuck it, let's do it. So I ended up doing it, no problem.
What was it like, pain-wise?
It was sound. It wasn't like I was expecting to be much worse than what it actually was.
Yeah.
So it actually wasn't sore. And then I remember going back. It was like someone scratching sunburn. I remember going back and then going, he's upstairs. I got my tattoo. He says, I'll come down there and see it. So he walks in the stairs, and he says, what the fuck have you done? I says, what do you need? He says, you're never going to get a job. I said, I don't need a job. I'm going to be a boxer. You fucking dickhead. Get the fuck out. I ended up having to go upstairs. I remember I was crying my eyes. I was going, fuck's sake, I'm fucked up here. And then my ma came in and says, oh, it's lovely, son, don't worry about it. So I was like, happy days.
How long did it take for him to get over it? Because I remember when I was growing up, my dad said if you ever get a tattoo, ear piercing, or fucking anything, you'd be out of the house. What was his reaction after that? Did he take a while to warm to it, or were he like, fair enough, it's not that bad?
It was a fucking long time ago now, but I don't think it wasn't too long. He didn't dwell on it too much, like, but he was, at the start, he was like, obviously trying to think, like, correctly, you know, going, you're not going to be able to get, because at that time, like, tattoos, you couldn't get it anywhere. You couldn't get in nightclubs and all out there with, like, tattoos on show.
Yeah.
Nah, everybody has them.
Yeah.
But at that time, no, you couldn't, and he was like, he's not going to get a fucking job. I was like, I don't want a fucking job. I'm going to be a boxer.
I mean, it's a positive way to look. It's take some balls saying that, I suppose, at 17. But I suppose if you thought you knew, then you knew.
Yeah, I kind of did. And I was already kind of, I think it was like Ulster elite champion. Like won fucking loads of stuff, and I was just on the verge of making the Ireland team to go to the Olympics. So.
Yeah. So you're telling your dad, look, if I don't make it, it's your fault. You're coaching.
I fucking could have done. I could have blamed him.
You could have done. I tell you what, it's a good job you didn't get them no fear eyes.
I know.
That would how big? Be honest, right? How big of a shambles would that have looked?
I think if I had got the no fear eyes, I would have had a full sleeve by now, covered them. Like I would have had to do something because that would have been horrendous. That would have been really bad. Like.
Yeah.
Worst case though, like I wouldn't have got them. I would have got the rosary around my wrist. That's what I would have got.
Yeah, that's not. Well, yeah,
I was gonna get them where they would come around and then like come onto my hand.
Yeah, I've gotten that.
And then I was told that don't get them in your hand because it kind of comes off after like a load of years or start to fade. It's like okay, I was about that.
Plans to get any more?
Nah.
You not got your kids' names out like that?
I'm not gonna forget their names, so. Don't tell me you have your kids' names, you fucking loser, mate. Oh!
No, do you know what it was? No, do you know what it was? Do you know what it was? I've always wanted, like, a sleeve. But I was a bit like, I don't want to start a sleeve. No, I don't want to start a sleeve if I can't fucking withstand it, because it's a bit embarrassing. Imagine half a dove getting done on your arm and not being able. So I got his name there with, like, this, like, I don't know what you say it. No, fuck no. Not against anyone who's got them, but no, it was like just on the wrist, but then it had like this grey sort of fade thing going through it. Then I realised, you know what, it's not that bad. We can just go full whack now. So yeah, it's not that bad.
Nah,
it's not.
Getting anybody's name on you is a bit bad, I think.
Yeah, but it's your son. It's not like an ex.
Still, it's like, what's your name? You know what I mean?
Fuck, you know. I don't know. I've come out on the worst side of this. No fear eyes over here. Right, got a message for your fans. I'm sure, from what I've heard, you've done a load of tickets again, especially tough time of year as well, coming up to Christmas. Everybody's spending either side of Christmas, January, but they're going to come out in the droves for you. Have you got a quick message for them?
I just want to say thank you because, you know, we're going through a living crisis here. You know, they call it money, everything. Everybody's kind of struggling, everybody. And the fact that people are still buying tickets. Like, I was half doubting even doing the show because of this. I was like, it's not very unfair, but you know, people wanted it and people have obviously shown out and bought loads of tickets. So I just want to say thank you and I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll have a fantastic night Saturday night.
Fingers crossed. It's a good card as well, top to bottom. We will finish on that, but just talk to us about this undercard, because you've got a plethora of talent top to bottom. There's some really good fights on that card. Liam Davis fight, by the way, is an absolute war. But you've got the young guys coming through, the guys who you're close to as well. Just talk about this card, because you look around boxing cards, you see a good main event, maybe a good co, but consistently in terms of a full card, everyone's saying this is one of the best.
Yeah, listen, it's something that Jamie and myself have planned to do, is when we're doing cards here in Belfast, to make them good cards. Don't make them just like a main event with, you know, shade behind it. You know, put some good fights on.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the boxing at the minute, isn't it? It's like a main event and everything else is like fluffing. So yeah, there's some good fights, some like all Irish fights and everything. It's, it's going to be really interesting for some of the guys, and I'm happy for them. Like even like Sean McComb now, he stepped up. He's fighting now an undefeated fighter for WWE European. I think that will be brilliant. Tyrone McKenna versus Liam Taylor will be crazy.
We know what we're going to get in that as well.
It's just going to be war, isn't it? And I had a guy down sparring from Liam's gym, Zach Miller, good kid. But he was telling me like the same thing with the way Tyrone is. They'll say, I'm going to box, but they just have a war every time. Tyrone's the exact same. They say I'm going to box, I'm not going to get in the worst time and have a war. So it's like, it's what you expect. It's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I'll say anyone who's listening to this, if you're in the Belfast area, there's still some tickets left. Get involved if you've not seen the atmosphere in Belfast. It is a special atmosphere. You told me that last time, so a little plug there for you. Not that you need it. Michael Conlan, thanks for talking to Boxing Social. We'll catch up after your fight.
Cheers.